Okay,
Hey,
Kenny?
yeah, in the last meeting, I reported that the week of the 15th was the last week we'll be picking up leaves. And just so happens, Saturday is the end of that week we're picking up leaves, and the employees of the DPW, our valued employees there, did an excellent job. Right up to the snows just started, they got all the leaves picked up, and then they continued on to plow snow up until Sunday. They actually started salting first and then plowing snow and then finishing up with some salting. So they had quite a long day that began on Saturday with leaves and ended with snow plow and salting on Sunday. And I think they did an outstanding job. I did took a look at some other communities. I think they were right on top of it. There were some employees from REC that were brought over to help with DPW. So to all those employees who gave it their all, I think I just want to say thank you to them. They did a heck of a job keeping our roads open during the storm and getting the leaves done just in the nick of time. So,
As always, we have outstanding services here.
we do.
Some communities have to bag their leaves in little brown bags, and our guys just come around and vacuum them up. That's very good.
I hope it stays that way for as long as I'm in Hanover.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'll defer to you.
I'd also like to recognize the health department. We're just about at the end of our flu clinics, and the health department is doing an excellent job. The talk of the county, there's just the tops. Also, I'd like to update the residents on some of the recreation projects that are going on. Tomorrow we'll be receiving bids on removing of the tree stumps at the Allegro school property, and shortly thereafter hope to excavate those stumps and fill in with dirt. That will be compacted over the winter season, and in the spring we'll be putting down sod. I spoke with Mr. Obremski, who's our JCP&L representative on the moving the lights at the Brickyard Fields, and he assures me that they will be starting that project in the early spring. So we'll keep our fingers crossed
Moving the
about
power
that.
lines, right?
Moving the power lines, JCP&L. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for that. That's all I have to say.
John?
I would like to take this opportunity to thank and compliment the Landmark Commission, who worked very hard. And I have to acknowledge our previous mayor, Ron Francioli. He was the liaison to the Landmark Commission when this process started. And what's been accomplished is this: the Landmark Commission has been identified for their efforts by the federal and state national registry for the Whippany Cemetery / graveyard. And it will now be a registered landmark and registered in the National and State Historical Society as such. And this is a long, arduous process of writing back and forth and completing the obligations of making sure that the people that are buried there or have actually been there and are identified by the appropriate markers. So there's a lot of support documentation that goes to this. And I want to thank them for their diligence in accomplishing this task. It's not an easy thing to do, to move the federal and the state government to do anything, but they've been able to do it through their hard work and diligence. And I want to follow up with Mr. Schleifer and the other members and colleagues of the committee in terms of acknowledging the hard work that the DPW workers did with regard to the past snowstorm. Certainly they did do a great job, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention the police officers that were working at the same time to ensure that we didn't have abandoned people on the road, or if they were certainly responded to in a prompt manner. And our emergency services, both fire districts and certainly our first aid squad, have to be recognized as well as a result of just being prepared in the event that they're needed. These dedicated volunteers and volunteers with emphasis added are the ones that, in essence, tie up their families and their lives in order to help us as citizens in our time of need. And I have to join Mrs. Irati in thanking the Board of Health for the flu vaccination. Our CERT team, our Citizen Emergency Response Team, volunteered, handled the registration, handled the process of moving the people through and making this as painless as possible. So with all of that being said, I just wanted to comment and thank them all for their efforts.
Thank you. Guess we're done here. Is motion open to the public?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, it's now again open to the public for anything, any issues or anything you have to say.
Ron Francioli, 9 Slope Drive, Cedar Knolls. Len, I would be sadly remiss if I didn't stand here and congratulate you for your year. And I do mean it. We've had a lot of differences, but differences are good. Differences lead to many improvements to the town, and hopefully we always come up with the best solutions along the way. It's a difficult job sitting in that chair. Sat in it for a lot of years, and I know you've done your very best over this year, and for that I thank you, and I'm sure the rest of our community does as well. I wish you all the best in whatever you intend to do in the future, and again, for you and your family, for the holidays, once again, all the best. John, thank you for the kind remarks on the Landmark Commission. Very proud of them. I know they work very, very hard and diligently for putting together the historic component of the master plan, as well with the historic sites that you mentioned. I think that's fantastic. Whippinong Cemetery finally to get the status that it needs as landmark is quite an accomplishment, and they worked very, very hard on that, so thank you. But again, I thank you one and all. Have a very, very happy holiday, and hope to see you on New Year's Day. Take care.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor.
Anyone else? Room full of people, no one has anything to say but us, I guess. No one else? Okay, a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, the Route 24. Yeah. Yeah, and that's in here. Yeah, that's right here. He said we talked him into it. This is the beginning, right?